Hey everyone, I'm Joe Ferzoco.
I'm Chris Ferzoco. Today we're going to be discussing December of 2024, Joe, versus November of 24.
Fantastic. And hey, if you like what you hear and you like what you're seeing here on the videos, please subscribe below, tap that bell for notifications, and please hit the like button. You'll be the first to get the most up-to-date market information and happenings down here at the Jersey Shore. No, not that Jersey Shore, our Jersey Shore. Ventnor, Margate, Longport, Ocean City, Somers Point, Strathmere, Sea Isle, Upper Township, Stone Harbor, Avalon, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, West Wildwood, Diamond Beach, Cape May, North Cape May, Cape May Courthouse, and Dennis Township. What the heck? Why not? I'll throw you in there too. If I forgot your town, I'm sorry about that. But hey, Chris, so we're going to be looking at market statistics, December versus November of 2024. And tell us a little bit about, so what's going to go into all that?
So we're going to look at all property here, right? So if it's been on the market, if it's been on the MLS, whether it be commercial, vacant lot, single family, condo, townhouse, efficiency, big beachfront, doesn't matter, bayfront, doesn't matter. We're going to be talking about all property here, and we're going to be looking at the average value of all the properties. We're going to look at the number of homes that came on the market, number of properties that sold, and we're going to be looking at the sale price versus list price as well.
Super.
All right, so I'm going to start off in Ocean City, Joe, and we're going to take a look at here. We actually had about a 2.5% increase in the overall value of property here. We actually went from 1.27 up to 1.3. So again, even at the end of the year, it's nice to always just see that increase in values. That's a good sign, okay? When you start looking at the number of properties that sold. Now, when Joe and I talk about the number of properties sold, we're talking about those that were already under contract and they've gone to settlement and they are now in the possession of a new homeowner. Okay, so when we look at the number of properties that sold in Ocean City, we actually had a 47% increase. We went from 38 up to 56 in the month of December. Now that tends to happen down here at the shore because a lot of people want to get the sales in before the end of the year.
Right.
December tends to be a big push. So that's very common here, so I'm not overly surprised there. This one kind of caught me by surprise though. We actually, in the number of properties that came on the market, we went from 67 down to 33. That is a 50% drop. Very significant for the end of the year. A lot of times people get them out there because they know they're not going to actually close before the end of the year. So a lot of folks for tax purposes and what have you want to wait till the following year to settle. Some people like to try to get ahead of it. And especially with the weather that we had, it was a little surprising we didn't see more come on the market there in December. As for the overall sales price versus list price, we actually saw about a 1.5% drop there. It went to 95.5% of the overall list price was the overall sale price of those properties. Moving down into Sea Isle, we actually had a 6% decrease. And this was one of the only towns, or a couple of towns there that we saw that had decreases, but it had a 6% decrease in Sea Isle City. We actually went from 1.4 down to 1.3. So again, just a slight decrease. Could have just been a couple of new constructions. Didn't sell, or we'll see more of those going up in the new year. So that number, I imagine, will bounce back pretty quick. As for the number of properties that sold, we actually went up 1. We went from 12 in November to 13 in December. And the number of properties that came on the market, we actually had a 100% increase. This was surprising. We actually had 100%. We only had 6 come on the market in November. We had 12 come on the market in December. So that's great news for Sea Isle. That's a good amount of inventory coming on the market and prepping for the new year and new inventory for those buyers that are out there. The overall sales price to list price was the exact same month over month, sitting at 97%.
All right, wonderful. Well, let's move down the Parkway a little bit here, Chris. We're going to jump into the Wildwoods. One thing that I did notice in all the Wildwoods from November to December, pretty much the number of transactions, so the number of properties that sold was pretty much identical from month to month in each of the towns. So let's start in North Wildwood. Your average sale price actually dropped 16%. $571,000 was your average sale price in the month of December compared to November. Number of properties that listed for sale, we had a 50% decrease. So only half the property, we only had 10 come on in the month of December. And as far as the number of properties that sold, we had 20. Which I said, again, is pretty identical, 18 in November. Average list price to sale price was running around 97% for December in North Wildwood. Going into Wildwood, you actually had an average sale price up 21%, $550,000 was your average sale price for Wildwood in December. The number of properties that were listed for sale, that dropped about 69%. We only had 8 come on the market in the month of December. Number of transactions that sold, we had 13, pretty identical to what you saw in November, and your list price to sale price was up to 99%, which is great when you had a 21% increase as well, starting at a higher point. Down into the Crest, we had a 13% decrease, and your average sale price sitting right around $584,000. Number of properties that came on the market, we only had 4. That was a 75% decrease in the number of properties that came onto the market in the Crest. And we had 10 sell, which was pretty identical to the month of November. And again, right around 97% list price to sale price in the Crest. Moving down into Sea Point Village, you had a 26% decrease in your average sale price, which was right around $740,000. And now we don't have a lot that goes on with regards to on the market, off the market, prospect transactions and stuff like that in Sea Point Village and Diamond Beach. It is a very niche area that you are. So we only had one property come on the market. We had one property close in December. Pretty much the same as it was in November, and your list price to sale price was right around 92%. And of course, finally down in Cape May, Chris, we had a 22% decrease in December. So your average sale price was 1.287. The number of properties that came on the market, we only had 5 compared to 7 in December, and we had 10 transactions that actually sold, which again was pretty identical to the month of November. And your list price to sale price was running right around 93%.
So consistent.
Yeah.
A lot of consistency there. So moving off to the primary home market here, and not a lot of surprises here. In Upper Township, we actually had 11.5% decrease there. We went from 706,000 down to 624,000 in the overall value. We actually had a -2, if you will, and using just numbers. We had 15 properties sell in November. We had 13 sell in the month of December. And in the number of homes that came on the market, we actually were plus. We went from 6 up to the 8 in December there.
Yeah.
So, just kind of staying pretty modest. Not massive jumps here, but hey, look, that's 2 more homes that are available heading into January.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a bump there in the Upper Township primary home market. The overall sales value actually was a slight drop. It actually did drop 1.5%, Joe, down to 94.5%. So nothing crazy, just a little bit of a drop there in the overall sale price versus the list price.
Right.
As for Summers Point, we actually saw a 34% increase in the overall values of property in Summers Point, 408 up to 546,000 in the month of December. So a nice big jump there in December for Summers Point. Great way to celebrate the end of the year, that's for sure. We actually did see a decrease, though, in the number of properties that sold. We actually saw a 36% decrease. We had 14 sell versus 22 in the month of November.
All right.
And the number of properties that came on the market, we saw a 33% decrease. We only had 6 come on the market versus 9 in November. And the overall sales value remained exactly the same at 96%. So, nice big jump there in the overall values. Still getting 96%, but again, we saw a decrease in the number of properties that sold, decrease in the number of properties that came on the market as well, both primary home markets.
Yeah, absolutely. So sticking with the primary home market, let's go into like the North Cape May area. So you had a decrease actually in your average sale price in December, down 17% to 492,000. Number of properties that came on the market, that dropped 37%. It was only 5 compared to 8. In December. So just kind of looking at those a little more realistically. But we had a 40% increase in the number of transactions that sold. It was actually the only difference was in North Cape May for the southern half of Cape May County, where you saw a difference in the number of properties closing in November as opposed to December. So we had 10 in December. This price to sale price was running right around 95%. And finally, Cape May Courthouse, big jump. Actually, actual sale price was up 17% to 487,000 compared to 405 in November. We did have a 70% decrease in number of properties that came on the market. There was only 6 that came on the market in the month of December. And again, pretty much the same as the month of November. We had 12 transactions, 12 properties sell in the month of December. Your list price to sale price was around 98%. And like I said before, with regards to the Cape May area, you're jumping up, you're up 17%, and you're getting 98% and starting at a higher price point there as well.
Win-win.
It's a win-win. What are you seeing there, Chris, in the December, November?
I think what I'm kind of seeing there is just no real surprises. For the month of December there, we saw decrease in the number of properties coming on the market, which isn't surprising. It's the holidays. If if it's your primary home, it's the holidays. If it's your secondary home, you don't even want to wrap your head around it because you're not down here. You don't want to deal with it. So not overly surprising. I would wanted to hopefully see a little bit more properties that were actually closing and selling in December. Thought we'd see some bigger jumps there.
Sure thing.
Just from people trying to get them in before the end of the year.
Right.
Ocean City had a nice jump, a couple of other areas, but again, most of them were either smaller or negative.
Yeah.
So that was a little surprising there to wrap the year up. But hey, that's just the way the numbers are for this year in December. And we got some other great videos coming out that are wrapping up the quarters, the month, the first half versus the second half,
Yep.
and of course year by year, which is going to be a real tell as to what's going to be going on in the market. But the good news is we're still seeing more homes coming on the market. There's always going to be fresh inventory, and we're seeing values continue to increase. So it's still a positive sign in the real estate market. It's not discouraging in any way.
Not at all.
If you're a seller, your values are going up.
Yeah.
If you're a buyer, new homes are coming on the market. So it's some great opportunity out there.
Absolutely. And whether you're looking to do that, this week, next week, 6 months from now, a year from now, please reach out to us. Give us a call. Shoot us a text. Or, send us an email. If you're looking to sell and you want a more in-depth, analysis on your specific property, your specific town, please reach out to Chris or myself, and we will certainly sit down with you, discuss a market analysis with regards to the values, equity evaluation on your property, and of course, put together, a comprehensive marketing and advertising campaign for your property. If you're looking to purchase a property, please, again, reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with one of our buyer specialists here at the Ferzoco Group, and we'll find all the criteria you're looking for. What are your wants and needs in a property? And we're going to make sure we get you into that property, at the fastest rate that we can get you in there with all of the needs and wants that you have. So please feel free to reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. We'll make sure that we make your transaction here at the Jersey Shore the best that it can possibly be with the help of the team at the Ferzoco Group. So for now, he's Chris, I'm Joe. We'll see you at the beach.